More than 100 firefighters are still battling to bring the huge fire that's blanketed Auckland's CBD in smoke under control. Just 20% of the International Convention Centre roof remains after the blaze broke out early yesterday afternoon. A firefighter has been taken to hospital with concussion after a part of the roof fell on them. Some streets in the CBD are deserted as smoke continues to drift over the city, and public health officials advise people to stay away. The Central Library and the District Court are closed. Fletcher Building and SkyCity have confirmed they will rebuild the problem-plagued centre, but they have got no idea when that will be able to happen. Our reporter Nita Blake-Person is at the scene and we'll speak to her shortly. But first, Katie Scotcher and videographer Patrice with how the day unfolded.
The thick smoke billowing from the site has paralysed much of Auckland's CBD. Workers have been told to stay home if possible, and traffic is being diverted. Many thought the heavy rain and hail that's fallen throughout the day would help fire crews, but strong gale force winds have hampered firefighting efforts. The bosses of both SkyCity and Fletcher Building fronted media this morning. Fletcher Building's Ross Taylor says the fire was first spotted by a supervisor just after 1 yesterday afternoon.
My understanding is they were going down a stair from the roof and they looked aside and what was burning was the bituminous product.
SkyCity's Graham Stevens says the blaze is absolutely devastating.
We have worked incredibly hard to get to where we were only yesterday morning. I was up really early yesterday with my hard hat on with Peter Reedy from Fletcher's and the wider Fletcher team on a site inspection. And I have to say it was the most constructive and exciting visit I've had. You could just see everything coming together. We were literally signing off hotel rooms and you could see the internal shape of the convention centre. The seats were pretty much going into the arena. And I left the site very buoyed and very excited, and literally 2 to 3 hours later got the message that there was a fire.
Fire and Emergencies Auckland manager Ron Devlin says 70% of the centre's roof has been destroyed, and the plan is to sacrifice it altogether.
In doing so, allow the debris from the roof to drop down onto the 5th floor, where the plan of attack will go from what we're currently in, which is a defensive plan, into an offensive plan, which is when we commit people inside to extinguish the fire.
More than 100 firefighters have been tackling the complex fire.
Not just the size of the building, the complexity is in part the way the roof is burning. We're certainly not being helped, obviously, by the weather conditions and the fact that we have an extreme weather event sort of on the eve of us as well.
Ron Devlin isn't concerned about the convention centre's structure being compromised.
We've got a building here that's under different, forces to what it was designed to be. You've got jets of water hitting the side, jets of water hitting the roof. There's increase in temperature. This affects materials in different ways.
WorkSafe and Fire and Emergency will be investigating the cause of the fire, and Fletcher Building's Ross Taylor wasn't keen to speculate on what started it.
Effectively, there's blowtorches, heat applied to the bitumen to do the joint seals. So that's the sort of that's where we think the issue occurred. But again, we have to do the investigation, and I'm really not going to speculate because as I've been involved in incidents over the years, what you find is the speculation or the word on the street can be very, very wrong.
The SkyCity complex remains closed, although it's likely to reopen tomorrow. Graham Stevens says it's the first time in the casino company's history. It was
a really weird time to be on property without a single customer in any restaurant or hotel. Now, there will be an impact from that. We're trying to contain the period of closure to obviously yesterday, today, but hopefully tomorrow we hope to be able to reopen, hopefully from the afternoon on, and that's really a function of clearing the smoke up.
While the extent of the damage is still unknown, both SkyCity Auckland and Fletcher Building are adamant the problem-plagued convention centre will be completed, but it'll be back to the drawing board to determine who will be involved and when that will happen.
Clearly, some will be immediately re-engaged because there'll be work that they need to do immediately. Others will may have a hiatus through that and we'll have to work out with them how that works.
Fire and Emergency expect crews will remain at the scene for the next 24 hours at least. I tamaki makaurau mō te hōtaka o te ahiahi nei, ko Katie Scotcher ahau.